What is up, my little pretties? It's your mistress, the Lioness here, and today we are going to review another princess movie. Now, this is a non-Disney movie, and I can honestly really say that this movie was actually really good. And today, we are going to review a movie that the production have previously directed The Fox and the Hound. If you guys want to check out that review, you're more than welcome to do that, as it's in my channel. And today we are going to review a Rich movie called The Swan Princess. Now, this movie came out in 1994. And before I start off, I'm going to say right now that some of you guys who were born in the 90s or grew up in the 90s, like late 90s, probably may have remembered this movie. Surprisingly, even though I was born in 1998, I have discovered this movie. You know, I used to have this movie on VHS along with the sequel. Now, the sequel I will review eventually when I get to rewatch it, because I haven't seen the first Swan Princess movie in a long time, and neither I have with the sequel. But today I just recently decided to watch The Swan Princess for the first time in years, and I honestly have to say that this movie is a childhood to remember. Basically, it's a nostalgic thing of the 90s. A lot of movies made in the 90s were the best. And I have to say, most of them are good. Now, some people may have forgotten about this movie existed. Even though it's not a Disney movie, some people forgot that this movie existed. I didn't forget that it existed. I knew it existed still. As when I was a kid, I think I watched this movie when I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old, and I honestly loved it. I loved this movie as a kid. Now, they did have another sequel called Escape from Castle Mountain, which was later renamed to The Secret of the Castle. And of course, they had the third movie, which is Mystery of the Treasure or something. I can't honestly remember, but I've not seen the third one. And of course, the Swan Princess are still making sequels today. I think they've got up to like 8 or 9 sequels. I really didn't think the other ones were really necessary, but some of it was decent enough. So I can give that credit. Now, today we are going to review The Swan Princess. Now, for most of you guys who grew up in the 90s, probably have remembered seeing this movie. For those of you who don't remember seeing this movie, you're in luck today, as I will be reviewing it. Now, before I get started with the review, I want to warn you guys right now that I will be spoiling pretty much everything about this movie. So if you do not want to see me spoil the movie, I highly recommend you click off this video right now and go watch another of my videos if you like. With that said, people, let's begin with The Swan Princess. Now, basically, The Swan Princess is about King William's Chancellor, Sir Rothbart, who plans to take King William's kingdom for himself by mastering a type of dark magic, all known as the Forbidden Arts. But before he could strike, Rothbart was arrested, and despite his calls for his death, King William spares Rothbart's life and banishes him forever. However, Rothbart swears revenge on King William, tells him that he'll get his power back and take everything William owns and loves, but is banished to the evil and dangerous Swan Lake. That's where he makes it his home. However, King William and his friend Queen Gilberta make their children, Odette and Derek, to meet every summer. Hopefully they will fall in love and marry each other, uniting the two kingdoms. Of course, when they met for the first time as children, they take dislikes towards each other, but as the years pass, they fall in love. Now, this is kind of like normal for, kids. First they don't like each other, but then they slowly begin to like each other. I've been in that path too. I've been in the path where, despite the fact that this was in medieval times, they were betrothed, like Odette and Derek were betrothed. Just like I know other movies did this, like Lion King, for example, Simba and Nala were both betrothed. And I think there's other movies that did this as well. So basically, Derek only expresses his love for Odette's beauty, and that she and her father was leaving disappointed. However, they got ambushed by Rothbart, who is now a sorcerer. that transforms into a great animal with his new powers, kidnapping Odette and fatally injuring William. However, Derek arrives on scene and tells William about the great animal. It's not what it seems, and that Odette is gone. So, of course, Derek has to find Odette. So he starts searching for a sign of Odette, but there was no sign of her. So the entire kingdom assumes that she is dead. Uberta encourages her son to find another princess, but however, Derek is determined to find Odette, and he is believing that she is still alive, and he basically is not believing that she's dead because, well, she's not dead. So Derek and his best friend Bromley practice hunting every preparation to face the great animal. However, later on in the movie, Rothbard is keeping Odette captive at Swan Lake. He has cast a powerful spell that turns Odette into a swan during the day, and at night she can become human temporarily. If she is on the lake when the moonlight touches it every night, Rothbard asks Odette to marry him so he can rule William's kingdom legally. But she refuses his proposal, so then when the moonlight leaves Swan Lake and she turns back into a swan, during a captivity she befriends with a turtle named Speed, a French frog named Jean Bob, or John Bob, whatever you prefer to say it, who claims to be a prince, and an Irish puffin named Puffin, or whatever, Lieutenant Puffin. But I could really just say Puffin because, it's cute. Okay, so Puffin and Odette enter Swan Ford together to fly to find Derek, but however, they stumble upon Derek in the woods that he's searching for the great animal. Derek mistakes Odette for being the great animal and having deduced that creature is a shapeshifter and tries to kill her. Ensuring the chase leads Derek to Swan Lake, where he witnesses Odette's change back into a human when the moon rises. So the two share a loving reunion, but Odette tells Derek that the spell can only be broken by a vow of everlasting love. So Derek invites Odette to the ball at the castle following night, hoping to declare the world of his love forever. Derek leaves just as Rothbard arrives and doesn't know the enchanter heard the voice of conversation. However, Rothbard tells Odette that she will never make it to the ball, for there'll be no moon on that night. Much to her dismay and sorrow, fearing that Derek's vow would ruin his plans, Rothbard, however, decides to transform his cheerful hag sidekick, Bridget, to the point where she appears to be Odette. However, for ensuring that if Odette makes the vow to her as the wrong woman, Odette will die. So basically, Rothbard imprisons Odette in the dungeon of the castle along with Bromley, who had been found in the woods the other night. So Bridget, in another human form of Odette, like an impostor, arrives at the ball where she dances with Derek, who is unaware of her true identity. So at Swan Lake, Speed and Jean Bob managed to free Odette from the dungeon with the duel that the two hungry alligators as she flies to the castle, but it was too late. Derek makes the vow of everlasting love to the wrong girl, and Rothbard busts in, revealing Derek to the fake true love's form. Realizing the mistake, Derek races back to Swan Lake, where he finds Odette, who transforms back into her human form, and of course she was dying. So she tells him that she loves him before Derek becomes furious and confronts Rothbard. He was demanding him to undo the spell, so Rothbard transforms into the great animal, and battles those with Derek. Of course, he was overpowering Derek, but of course, Odette's animal friends return to bow out to him, and Bromley escapes from the dungeons, provides Derek with a single arrow. Of course, Derek catches, and fires the arrow onto the great kingdom's heart, and that basically kills him. So a heartbroken Derek confesses his love to Odette when she revives and the spell on her is broken. Derek and Odette finally get married, and basically they live happily ever after. Okay, well, that's a lot of information I could really say, and that is definitely the Swan Princess. Now, what did I think of this movie? I actually found this movie to be really good. It's a great childhood for me to remember. Now, some of you guys, if you forget what happens in this movie, well, there you go. You've got, me explain it to you. But I could definitely say that the movie was actually really good. There's a lot of great stuff going on with the Swan Princess. Now, the movie itself was obviously really good. I could definitely say that there are lots of great things about this movie. Now, the animation is really good. I could definitely say that. Even though some people thought maybe this is a Disney movie, it's not a Disney movie. You could say it's a non-Disney movie, but I could definitely say that, not all non-Disney movies are bad. Most of them are seeming to be pretty good. Pretty good. Like this one, on the other hand, was just amazing. Now, some people may have remembered seeing this as a kid. Well, I remember I saw it when I was a kid, and I obviously enjoyed it. However, though, there is no negatives to say about it. Well, at least on my end. But there might be some negatives on your end, but you can just, that's just your opinion, basically. Now, I like the concept itself. It's actually original, and it's something Disney would never have thought of doing that. Even though Disney has never done anything like that, I would be really surprised if Disney ever decides to release a new movie, have something kind of like this, but a little different. I'd be very surprised if Disney came up with this, a while before The Swan Princess. However, though, I do like the storyline of how the movie went on, which is amazing. Like, I love the storyline of the movie. It's just unbelievably amazing. It's a great concept. I could definitely say that. Now, however, though, this is just my opinion on the movie. So, I'm just gonna keep on, kind of explaining what else I like about the movie. Now, I like the characters. The voice acting did a very good job, but unfortunately, there's one actress that sadly passed away, in 2010, which is Michelle Nicastro. She sadly died of breast cancer and brain cancer in 2010, but she will always be remembered for the best voice actress for Odette, the adult one. I actually really liked the characters in the movie. I honestly found them to be very good. I do like that the movie actually had a great concept itself to be rather nice. I actually loved this movie as a kid. And I honestly still believe that this movie actually did a great job. Which of course I did. Think that the movie did a great job. This movie was honestly amazing. Now, if you were born in the 90s, you probably have remembered seeing this movie as a kid. But probably don't remember it since it's been a long time. But for me, I just recently rewatched this movie for the first time in a long time. And I have to say this movie was just amazing. And I honestly feel that kids should watch this movie and at least give this movie a chance, as this movie is just fantastic. Now, with that, like I'm going to say right now, people, this is simply my own personal opinion. And if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to this movie. This is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this movie would have to be a 10 out of 10. It's a great concept. I like the storyline and the flow of it, how it went well. I like the animation was good. The voice acting did a great job. And I honestly love the characters. Now, with that said, I do not have anything negative to say about this movie. It's still pretty good. Now, I will be reviewing the sequel to it, but I am not going to review the third sequel because one of them being I have not seen it yet. So, when I do watch the third movie, then I will review it in the future. But as of now, I'm going to review the second one. Like, not now, but in the future. I obviously love this movie, and I'm sure you guys will love it if you were born in the 90s. Or at least in the 2000s if you've heard of it. So I really highly recommend checking this movie out. Also, I want to thank you so much for, the support and all that you guys have given me. If we can get this channel up to like maybe 1,000 subs by the end of this year, that'd be amazing. And anyways, what did you all think about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what would you have done personally to help make this movie a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Lioness. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure you like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you guys will get notified to when I upload. And with that said, I will be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.